have with me Angelina and Dennis today. No specific topics have been picked out for today, so this will be an interesting conversation. So, can you guys say hi?
Hello.
Hi. I went to DJ's house.
Oh, look at you visiting your brother. Way to go.
So close yet so far away.
So, first thing I want to say is, Matthew Perry passed away this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
Apparently, that man's had more of an impact on people's lives than anybody could realize. I mean,
Mm.
a lot of people really they're posting like they knew him personally.
I feel like everybody does that when somebody dies, though. One time I ran into him at Burger King and I needed 2 cents and he gave me 2 cents. It changed my life. Now I
Mm.
always carry 2 cents to give somebody 2 cents.
It's
uh,
the truth, though.
well, but here's the thing, and I wasn't one of those devoted people to the show Friends, but I did enjoy watching it when it was on, and I caught it.
Yeah.
But until recently, of course, now they're showing different clips of things that he's done. Their shows I never even realized it was him in there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, wow. And now of course there are other people I guess are devoted fans. But it just
Yeah. I loved Friends.
Mm.
oh
I
you
just, he was barely alive to begin with lately. He looked rough.
well you, and judging people by how they look, I know we're wrong in it, but it is true. I was looking at some of his pictures, as you guys are posting them, and he went
Mm.
from a very handsome man to a very run down, overweight man.
Well, and he
Yeah.
was heavy on drugs and alcohol,
Mhm.
and he'll even tell you he didn't watch Friends because he could look at every episode and say pills, cocaine, alcohol. Like he would
Right.
Mm.
know what he was on by watching it, so he didn't even want to watch it.
But yeah, I mean, the good thing is, he really did obtain a lot of friends out of that show because they're all right there. They're heartbroken too. Now
Yes,
they are saying that no pills or no drug paraphernalia was found.
that's good. I guess he's
Yes.
been clean for a little while now, which is probably the weight gain and the
Right.
depressed look on his
Mm.
face.
But yeah, and he did. He looked like his world was coming to an end. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I just wanted to touch on that.
I
It's
feel
pretty
like
sad.
He's kind of always had like that like sad look on his face though. He's always kind of had that depressed look even when he was being funny and jokey and
Yeah.
laughy.
True.
He still kind of looked just like a sad person.
Now, if I understood right, he did write a book. I have to look into that further, but I believe it had something to do with drugs and alcohol. Whether it was actually published or not, I don't know.
I think he did too. I think he did too. I can't remember what it was called, but I did see that he wrote a book and I also don't know if it was released, and if it already was released and it didn't do well, it's probably going to do really well now.
Mm.
Yeah, isn't that sad too? And that is a true fact because it could sit on the shelves forever. But once he dies, everybody's like, "Oh, I got to go get this."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's same thing with with all of the major artists like Picasso and um yeah.
Pretty, yeah,
Like,
pretty much most of them.
yeah. They don't rise to fame until after their death.
Yeah.
So
Right. What's the one? And I feel stupid here. The one that didn't have the ear.
Van Gogh.
Yes, he was another one. His work sat and sat and sat. And the moment he died, everybody started buying it up.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's weird because obviously it's not helpful to
right.
support the person's business when they're gone. I mean, obviously if you have kids or something like that, there's somebody that you care about that it's going to, but your great Aunt Charlie that or whatever that lives 4 states away that gets
Yeah.
Right.
your art money now, and it's people are weird like that. Like
Well, everybody thought Van Gogh was a freak because he didn't have that ear.
Hmm.
because he cut it off.
Well, I guess that does make you a freak, but
Most artists are weird, and that's just something. Obviously, it's not, oh, every artist in the world is weird, but most of them are eccentric and weird. and that's what gives them the odd creativity. So
Right.
it's
Yeah.
weird that you couldn't appreciate that when he was alive, but when he died, all of a sudden,
Mm.
when he was alive, he was a weirdo that nobody wanted to buy for. When he died, he was an eccentric artist genius.
Right, right.
Yeah. Yeah, and really, it is a shame, you know. I mean, like we all have our little quirks and weird tendencies, you know. It
You know what
nobody can go through
Angelina's
life
thinking on
without
that
that,
one, right, Dennis?
huh?
You know what Angelina's thinking on that one, right?
She's thinking that I have many weird quirks
I wasn't going that far with it, but okay.
What were you gonna say?
Because he said it, I'm like, and I'm sitting there watching you, and I'm like, yeah, okay, never. I was just kidding though.
I mean, you know, I mean, really, no one can go through life without some sort of a weird quirk about themselves,
Right.
you know. But you
What's your weird quirk, DJ?
which one?
I don't know.
See,
Pick
I mean, that's
one.
what he was saying. You know, many.
You know,
Do you even know your own quirks? Like, I wonder if that's something like, I do agree that we all have a weird quirk, but do we realize our own weird quirk, or is it so normal to us we don't
you
even
know,
I think it's so normal to us, we don't even know.
yeah, at least with most people anyway. So,
because I was trying to think of mine and I'm like, I don't know what mine would be, but I know I have it.
hmm.
We're like, now everybody's quiet because they're like, don't pick me.
Yeah, right.
Don't make me tell you.
Mm.
Honestly, when it comes down to you, I don't. DJ, would you agree with me? You can't pinpoint anything about her. You know.
It's just weird all the way around.
Well, sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah, but we all are. So you know.
Well, if it helps, I can't pick a weird quirk about either of you either.
See.
Well,
So maybe it's normal to all
nice.
of us.
Well, yeah. Well, and really, we've been together for a really long time. As
Yeah,
it
I was
is,
gonna say
so,
like,
you know, it's
That almost sounds like you're a couple.
like 19.
all three of us. Oh goodness.
Now let's get deep.
Henry, we've been together for
What, 12
Me,
years
DJ,
now.
500 years, wasn't it?
How many years, Deej?
500. I don't know.
I
Some
think-
arbitrary number that came off the top of my
I
head.
think we're
We've
at.
been
Oh shit!
like
no.
about 19, buddy.
Yeah, maybe 1920.
Yeah.
Did you say 1920? Oh, I thought you were picking a year. 1920, they met and fell in
Angelina,
love.
if you were here in 1920, you really should do something better about aging because you're looking pretty good over there.
I was gonna say do something better about aging. If I was in 1920, I'm doing the best I can.
I just can't, you definitely don't look like you come from that era.
Thanks, because I'm alive.
Well, yeah, you've exceeded all. So Dennis does have the quirk of when I win the lottery. That's a quirk.
Would you consider that a quirk?
That is a quirk.
Well, and it's not it. It's not when. It's if.
Well,
But
If
The
I stay
thing is-
quiet, is that
is-
pleading the fifth?
huh?
So if I stay quiet on that, is that pleading the fifth?
Yeah.
are you guys more if now instead of when? Because when you first started doing it, you guys were like, when we win the lottery, we're doing this and this, like trying to speak it into existence.
Well,
See, truth
That-
be told.
that would have been nice if it worked that way, but
Maybe it's because you switched it to when. You could have won by now, but now you, or
maybe,
I meant you switched
Yeah.
it to if.
maybe. But how many times would I have to, or how long would I have to go saying when before it actually happens? You know?
I don't know.
Okay, but I'm
95, and you finally made it.
right.
Yeah.
But that's also another good question. How much money do you spend on if I win the lottery?
I spend nothing.
You do know. You do know when your husband spends the money, it's all the same. So
Yeah, but I spend nothing, so I don't know what he spends.
Like, I'm not gonna ask him. I don't.
Now, I will ask that and reveal that next week.
Oh my god,
No, I'm just kidding.
that's hilarious.
So
Like, hey, tell us, how much did you spend on winning the lottery?
he'll tell me too. Oh, he might fudge a little bit, but
I was gonna say he might not even know because you figure it's probably like $2 here, $2 there.
Mm.
yeah. I mean, but I am lucky, in that sense. Everybody that's come into my life, into my family, it's like they tell me everything. It's like we've known each other forever. So that's pretty
That's
cool.
because you make us.
I do what?
You make us. I was just a child and used to be like, hey, hey, what are you doing? Where you at? Who you going with? How long you gonna be there? Where you going?
Wow, that hurts.
You did.
That hurts. I
I I used to get so offended because little 18-year-old me, I'm like, I'm a grown up and this mom is asking me where I'm at, where I'm going, who I'm going with, what am I doing? It used to drive me insane because my own mother didn't mother me, and then I got this other mother asking me all the time. But then I was complaining one time, and Sonny's like, she's not doing it to mother you. She's doing it because she's genuinely curious because she loves you. And I was like, what? It's like this whole shock thing. Like, wait, what? She's doing it because she just wants to know.
Mm.
it's in a conversation piece. I felt
Well, yeah,
comfortable. I felt
it's an
comfortable with you when
18-year-old
you first
kid.
came into our lives, but it was like still learning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was for me too, because I was just, I was just a kid, and there's an adult asking me where I'm at, where I'm going, who I'm.
So tell me, what are you doing today, Angelina? What time,
I,
where, how?
I don't know.
Looking out that pretty view of yours.
I I know. So the goats are 2 weeks old now, the babies, and they've decided that they're gonna punish me every day for the rest of their life for just enjoying their cuteness. So I've gotten them out of the pig pen. I have I couldn't figure out how they were escaping. I assumed they were going through the electric fence, only to find out my chickens have a chicken wire enclosure where there's a roof and walls and stuff around it. So that way, nothing can get them when they're not free ranging. So that's their outside space. Figured out that the goats are jumping on the roof of the chicken wire. There's a little spot between where it meets their building, the wire meets the building. Well, they pushed it down, so they're going down there, in through the chicken coop, and out through the front door so they can get out.
Oh my! The animals are very bright.
And they're barely 2 weeks old.
But a while ago, you and I talked about you being on the show. Going from like city life to country life.
Oh, yeah.
So, what kind of an experience has that been?
For me or for Nelson? Because I feel like that's important.
Well, kind of both of you. And I'm asking these things because this is something that I know she's always wanted and everything, and she's proving that if you do things right, you can go and get whatever it is you want in life.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with a good partner. That sounds cliche and corny and like tacky. But seriously, if you have somebody who holds you back or doesn't support you or is not pushing you forward, you're not going to go forward. Because I was comfortable where I was at. And they say comfort is the killer of success, right?
Correct.
I was comfortable. I had worked hard enough and did enough that I had a house that was big enough for me and the boys. And I had told them, this is your forever house. This is where we're going to live. And I settled. I was just perfect. I'd given up and I was just settled. And I'm going to be honest. I was like, okay, enough's enough. I fought my whole life just to be okay. And now I'm okay. And I give up on the rest.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met Nelson and I would come home and I would complain about stuff I was dealing with at work. And he's like, well, then why are you doing it? He's like, well, let's think about this. The pay to the time ratio, he's huge on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is your time worth? Is it worth going through that? Or is your time worth more than that? What do you want to do? And so then that started the realtor thing, which started the move, which got us here, which he said absolutely no animals. So Nelson grew up on a little farm. I mean, I say farm, but like it was horses and baling hay, not like, hogs and cows but so he wants nothing to do with that because he grew up on that. And as a teenage boy, mama's using you to do everything.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So he was like, no. And there was chickens here when we bought the house. And he was like, no, those are leaving. We're not replacing them. And the realtor was like, hey, they want to leave the chickens. And I was like, do it, but don't tell Nelson, So that was our deal, which she actually told me the other day. So we got the chickens. Nelson loves having fresh eggs. He was all about chickens after that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we paid a lot of money to have our woods mulched because our property is mostly wooded. And the guy was like, see you next year because this is all going to grow back. And I was like, my friend Chelsea has goats. She just had a really cute baby goat, would make that mulcher not come back. Some baby goats. So it was, okay, fine, nothing over 200 pounds. Deal. There's a lot of stuff you can get under 200 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I bet you 10 to 1 if we put all your animals on a scale, they exceed.
I don't think my goats would. My goats definitely will not. The male pig is probably pushing it now.
Oh, really?
He's a big boy.
Wow.
Wyatt might too, the girl, but nothing else. Oh, you mean if adding all my animals up?
Yes. If we take them all, put them on a scale, you're going to exceed that 200.
Well, it's not all the animals added together. It's each animal individually.
That's not my point, but okay.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So I still got plenty of, all mine are way under. Yes, they are way under.
Yeah.
It's worked out good. And then now he's adding. So we have guineas because he wanted guineas because they eat ticks and snakes and he hates snakes. And then we got geese, which he ended up loving. But now the male goose is less than lovable. So, but yeah, now he doesn't tell me no for anything. Now he's adding stuff. You know what we should do? We should get a cow.
I would definitely wait till after your big move to worry about that one.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is the realtor, I talked to her, the lady who sold us the house, she was obviously knew that Nelson didn't even want the chickens and stuff, and that he was like, no. And she said, I've seen your posts. And I said, oh my God, she killed Nelson.
No, folks, Nelson is very much alive.
She kept seeing all the animals coming. And she was like, you always have new animals. And I thought, oh my God, she killed him.
That is too funny.
Oh, no. Nope, he's here.
Dennis, you were talking about your ham radio. For those of you that are into ham radio.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, what was it? Just about the start of COVID, I got my amateur radio license, and since then, I've met quite a few people from all over the world. One of which I started helping to build a network, and of course, we grew from us two. To three people in the admin team, and extremely recently, like this week, recently, we started partnering with another really large amateur radio network, and linking up to do some different nets, and when we first started, I started doing a trivia net, which was quite fun. Basically, if you're an amateur radio operator, you get on, and you get to answer a couple of questions, like general trivia, basically, and see if you got it's. Pretty much see if you guessed right, possibly learn something as well as having a bunch of fun while doing it. I put it off for probably a month or so now, I think, since the last time that I've done one. But I'm starting them back up today, linked with this new network. the Extended Freedom Network is what they're called. Let's see, what is their website? Well, if I can get my mouse to work.
I feel like that's the network on Fallout.
So their website is extendedfreedom.network. And then the website for the network that these other two gentlemen and I have put together is welcome500.com. So we link together. Oh, I think it's going to be nearly daily now, so that we can have nets between the two different systems. So it's going to be fun. My net today will start at 12 o'clock Eastern time. That's 4 o'clock UTC. So it'll be a lot of fun. And of course, if you're a licensed amateur radio operator, do feel free to jump on the websites and find out how to connect and join in. So it'll be a ton of fun.
It sounds like it.
That's awesome.
Now, Angelina, what did you say when he was talking? It sounds like what?
The radio station in a video game, Fallout, but I just looked it up and it's Radio Freedom.
Oh.
I was like, wait a second, I thought maybe that was like an Easter egg in the game that they actually used a real ham radio station.
Oh, that would be cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because yours was America. Well, what's yours?
Welcome 500 is our network.
What was the American Radio Freedom or something? What'd you say?
The Extended Freedom Network.
Extended Freedom
Yeah.
Network. Okay.
Yeah, and I believe that they have a live audio feed broadcasting to Broadcastify, and I know we do on Welcome 500 as well. I actually operate the live stream for that. So Broadcastify puts out to most of the police scanner apps. So if you get on any one of those, and if you're not licensed for amateur radio use, you'll be able to listen in on it.
So if you're not licensed, you can listen, but you can't participate.
Correct.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that was clear. I know at one time I joined you on something and somebody was upset that I used your radio call or whatever you call it.
So the thing with that is that the whole world uses amateur radio frequencies, and each country has different operating regulations. Here in the United States, me being
my skid steer.
Me being the control operator of my station, I'm able to permit third-party traffic to those who are not licensed amateur radio operators,
Okay.
providing they haven't had an amateur radio license suspended or revoked
Okay.
or expired. So that basic or no, I take that back. It can be an expired license, but it can't have been suspended or revoked at any time. And that's what's considered third party traffic, and I am allowed to pass that traffic. So somebody got into a stink that wasn't right for them to get into, and it irritated quite a few people, but it's done and dusted now. So
Good.
Do y'all see here how this works? Over here we have the dogs, the pigs, the geese, this, that, and the other, and then over here we have the birds.
yeah.
Nobody can say we're
I'm
not.
just happy my skid steer's finally freaking back.
I thought that's what you said. I was going to ask you.
Yes. But I wish a child would go shut the dog up, but naturally,
Oh no, they never do.
no, they're going to stay in their rooms and pretend like it's not happening and say, Mom will do it.
Yeah, well, they're all teenagers, so that's what happens. So after touching on all that, and I don't know, what do you guys think about this stuff with the Palestinians and Israel?
Uh,
No comments. I think it's ridiculous and it needs to end.
yes. So I don't know how many people actually realize how far back the wars, I guess you can call them, between Israel and Palestine go. But basically, the issue that they're facing is Israel has a religious belief that Israel, the location that Israel covers on the globe is religiously their home.
Right. It has been forever.
They,
Yes.
they have that religious right to occupy that um, section of the globe. Where in Palestine has the same religious belief. So they've been warring um, almost since biblical times that both of them have the right, and I don't think either one of them realizes that they can come together and live in harmony.
That's what I was just getting ready to say. I mean, there's got to be something there, and if you come together, that would be the most fabulous thing that could happen.
Yeah,
It's ironic that over something that's supposed to be holy,
right.
something that's supposed to be biblical and teach good things, you're killing a bunch of people for when you guys could totally just both share it.
Yep.
Like, okay, from here to here it's ours. From there to there, it's yours. You own this, you own this. Together, this is ours.
Exactly.
It seems simple to us, but
And I mean, we all know no matter what's going on in this world, there's going to be a war somewhere. Supposedly somebody's, I can't even remember exactly. They say we're next, so we'll see.
they always say that.
Yeah.
Mm.
We're always getting dragged. I shouldn't say we're always dragged into everything. I should say we're always putting our nose into
Where it
everything.
doesn't belong, yes.
But
And eventually it will come back to us. We're not done. We know that.
they always, everything that's ever happened, they're like, oh, we're going to war.
Yeah.
Freedom, time of peace isn't profitable. So
Mm.
Right. When you say freedom, I mean, when you got to keep fighting for it, it's not so free.
Exactly, and that's one thing um, that a lot of people don't realize is that like the United States is a free nation because our military members are joining the military and volunteering to put their lives on the line
Right.
for our safety and our security. So it's a really big thing with that.
Whoa.
that wasn't my dog.
Is that Chloe?
No, that was Daisy.
Goodness.
Henry's in here messing with Daisy. So
Here's our chance. Henry, how much do you spend a week on lottery?
$5.
Lie.
The listener needs to know.
Lately, $5.
A week?
Yeah.
I guess it's not too bad.
Do you guys play instants or do you leave those alone?
Every now and then I'll see an instant ticket that looks kind of neat, so I'll get like a $5 ticket at most.
Hmm.
But that's like once in a great blue moon, maybe every 3 or 4 years I might get one.
Okay, so
Really?
then let's say you win on that $5 ticket. Do you invest that money back in or do you take the money and run?
Most of the time I just take the money and run because it's hardly ever that I actually win. And if I do, it's like $1.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, take that money and run.
Yeah.
My mom is good at winning that stuff, but she also gambles a lot. So, she'll be like, oh, I wanted this. and it's like, okay,
But how much did you spend to win that?
you've played all week and you won on this day. But she wins pretty good amounts. But I still say if you laid out how much she spends versus how much she wins, spends gonna be
Nearly cancels out. Yeah.
Right, right.
but it's her hobby, I'd say. So it's the same as if you're dumping money into craft stuff or
Right.
whatever hobbies people have these days.
I mean, as long as you're not hurting yourself or others with it, it's fine.
Spending your bill money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember some fights. She used to cross the line, but I think as she's gotten older and figured out some more hobbies, it's gotten a little better.
That's pretty
Or
cool.
a lot better, I should say. She used to go to bingo like 4 or 5 times a week.
Wow. I couldn't sit that long for bingo. I really couldn't.
Oh, as a kid, she'd take us in there sometimes, and you could smoke, even though it's a church. You could smoke in there, and the rooms you couldn't see. You couldn't see. It's just a bunch of old people chain smoking, and then you're just sitting there as a child, like just filled in smoke.
That's just
They're the reason it became illegal to smoke around children.
crazy.
It was bad. Now they can't smoke, and a lot of the churches don't have bingo anymore because, gambling is supposed to be against religion. A lot of their religions are not allowed to gamble.
Yeah.
Yeah, but bingo's been around forever, and the funny thing is, the proceeds from that bingo goes back into the church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a great fundraiser for them.
Right.
But then finally somebody decided it wasn't a religious thing to do.
But then they still hold their raffles, and So I mean,
Yeah.
it all goes
A
the
couple
same.
places still have bingo, but not most of the time it's not in church anymore.
No, I think most of the bingo that you get is at like community centers for the seniors and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where my mom goes now. I know she has a place they go on Mondays. That's all I know.
Okay, I know one of the private clubs down here. They hold bingo.
Mm.
I think that's on Wednesday, and I know people that go on Tuesdays. I mean, there's bingo everywhere you go.
And people spend a lot of money to play bingo, so it'd be crazy to wipe it out because
Right.
those ladies are, you pay X amount to get in, and then you pay X amount per card, and most of these people have like 10 cards laid out.
Doesn't that crack you up? And I mean, they have the whole table full, and they have their little daubers, and they're, and I can't keep up. Give me one card, and I'll play. Maybe two.
I remember watching my mom, my aunt, my grandma all like 10 cards. They'd be like, here, you watch this 1, 2, and they could do 10 in the time you
Yeah.
were
Right.
two. But they're like on it. But they
Isn't it
also
crazy?
have those instants that you pop too that you can buy all day long.
Yeah.
So you're also spending money on popping those instants.
Hmm.
Yep. I think that's what they call instant crack or paper crack.
Paper crack. Well, that would fit.
Yeah. It is addicting. I know I don't like to buy them myself because I don't win, but I like peeling the paper.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why you sit there and wait for me to purchase them and then take mine? I got it.
Yep. No, I do have the tendency to win on somebody else's pull tabs, but
Isn't that how it
but-
works, though?
yeah.
But again, you spend more money than you reap back. So
Yeah.
I know at the casinos, my mom always had a thing. She'd say, okay, I'm going to spend $20 and that's it. So she'd spend her $20, and if she won, she could put that money back. But if she didn't win, that was it. $20 is gone. It's gone. But, if she won that, it was like free money. So she always had like a rule going in, okay, I'll if I win more than 20, I'll put the 20 back in my pocket. So it's like I got here for free, and anything after that I can spend.
okay, but let's say you go in there and you spend that 20 because we all know there's no casinos around us. We have to travel a little bit, like Erie or Cleveland or something like that. But
Yeah, they usually go to Erie.
isn't that like a long trip just to go in and spend $20 in 5 minutes and come back home?
Presque Isle? No.
Yes. I don't know. To me, that would just be time cutting in my day.
She lives in Kingsville, so and she likes the ride out there. But so some of those machines are like a quarter.
Mhm.
I think they even have nickel machines still. So
I want to say they still have penny slots.
I think so. So it just depends on which machine you go to.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she would totally just go there for a few. Yeah, for her to go for an hour and come back is no big deal. She doesn't care about the drive or anything. She's always been like a cruiser, is what I would say. You know, like, oh, it's just an hour. Let's drive there. Let's go here.
Yeah,
Let's...
she
Yes.
doesn't sit still for long. So yeah, I get that.
I couldn't do that. I'd have to make a day of it.
Well, you better have more than $20, buddy.
Well, I won't go to casinos anymore because a couple of friends had taken me once, and I'd only had $50 that I was able to spend, and of course, that's what I put in. And the end of the day, I walked out of there with absolutely nothing, and I was
Right.
only able to gamble for like half of the day with the $50 because I wasn't winning anything.
Oh wow.
I feel like half the day is a good amount, though.
Yeah, you know.
So you
So,
must have not been dumping it.
no, I was I played the slots, and I think I bid the lowest bid that you could on any of the machines that I was on. So I like slot machines, but now I'll stay at home and play slots on the computer where I don't have to spend money.
that fixes it.
I just did what. So my mom wanted to take. So every year, my stepdad takes me for. Well, before I moved, he'd take me for all you can eat crab legs every year.
Mm.
Well, my mom tricked us both and was like, "Hey, you know who has good all you can eat crab legs? You can go to the casino. We can give you $20 to play, and we can eat crab legs." So me and my stepdad, my mom, my grandma, we all went to the casino and ate there because they have like a buffet, and there is crab legs at the buffet. I don't even remember the food if it was good, bad, so it must have been indifferent. But and then they gave me X amount to play, and then my mom would be like, they watch a lot, watch the machines, play
You're
one or
supposed to be-
two here, and feel out the
Right.
machine.
If
and
you're good
move
enough
to
at it, I guess there's something that you see that says, oh, okay, this is hot. You know.
Yeah, so she's good at that. So she'd be like, "Oh, are you sure you want that? Try that one. You're sure? Okay, you know." And like, well, maybe I don't. Hold on, which one do I want to try?
Right. That's when
Tell
you
me
say, Mom,
which
for
one."
once in your life, tell me what to do.
Yeah.
It's
So-
approved.
They've got a system, and then part of that's how they drag it out a little longer too, because you're not just sitting at the machine putting in. You're watching, you're walking around, checking out the stuff, getting your free sodas, or
Yeah.
that part was kind of nice that they bring you a drink while you're sitting there,
Yeah.
Wow.
little cups of flat soda.
Yeah.
But you go to the bar because you want an alcoholic beverage and a mixed drink or something like that, and it's $20 for a little mixed drink.
I didn't even know they had a bar.
Yeah, they do.
I-
Yeah.
A lot of the casinos do, I think.
I
It would
know
make sense, yeah.
when we were in Vegas, like he got a beer and I got, of course, my mixed drink, and it was over $20.
Oh.
Yeah.
He said, "Sip slowly."
Right? Yeah, I don't really drink, so I guess I didn't look for it. But I'm surprised that my stepdad didn't. My mom's not a drinker either, so I could see her not doing it. But
Right.
well, maybe he did, and we just didn't see him. Although he might be a drinker, but he's also very cheap.
So,
So if that's the case, he would have been, he probably would have been like, heck no, I can get a whole 12 pack or whatever.
yeah,
for
go home
that.
and relax with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing. You know, people that are cheap usually have some kind of money. You know.
Yeah.
That's how they do it. They're frugal. They they watch what they do and penny pinch and
Yeah, that's Nelson. We're poor. Where'd you get that? Oh, it was only 10 grand.
yeah,
Like, poor to me is not having 10 grand to go buy. Well, we don't have money for, but now I do understand. So cheap people or people who like to have money won't pour money into something that they can't get it back unless it's like a real big need, so even though he buys cars that are, I call them junk cars because it's nothing I would buy, but he already knows like how much he bought it for, how much he could get it back for, and all this stuff. So, oh, look at that. Your call ends in 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at now.
Uh-oh.
Well, that kind of works out good though, because your show usually ends in 15 minutes, right?
Yeah. It's all right. So,
But nothing he doesn't buy that he know he can't get that money back from.
that is so true.
Granted, you can't always predict that. You know what I mean? Stuff happens. Our bulldozer, the steering just went out on it.
Oh no.
And it's the amount to fix it is like as much as you could buy the bulldozer for. So.
Oh goodness.
So it'll be a wash, but
Yeah.
That's just.
but broken, he can sell it for as much as he put into it. There's just no profit on it.
So next week, you guys want to join me and see what we could come up with next week?
I mean, we did a pretty good job filming the time today, huh?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. I
Minus
didn't.
our dogs were out of control today, especially.
Oh yeah.
See, everybody says mine's a bad dog, and mine's the only one that didn't disturb us. Ta-da! So, with the fact that we only have 15 minutes, which probably it's 13 now.
It is 13. Mine's timer's still on there.
Oh, okay, mine's not. So, but if you guys want to follow me on YouTube, go and subscribe. As we go, I'm sure the material is going to get better. Soon
I
here,
can't get better than this.
right? True, but I mean, there's always room for improvement somewhere. I will have Ward's Laugh Factory on here pretty soon. That'll be for a good time. If you ever want to join us, just let us know. Get you a Gmail address, and we can hook you up right here on the system, and you can be part of our conversation. That's always nice. I like that part of it. We're going to give a shout out today to Deb's Diner over here on State Road in Ashtabula, Ohio. They only serve breakfast and early lunch, I think it is. So if you're hungry, you want to go there, Any shout outs you guys have for your areas?
Girl, nobody cares about my area.
You never know. You get the right person on YouTube, they'd be like, ooh.
No, I got nothing.
She's turned into
But
Susie Homemaker.
You
She
should
doesn't
all
work out.
vote for Miss Tara Hawkins for mayor of North Kingsville. If you're in Kingsville, you should vote for Tara.
Yes, voting is coming up. That was something I did want to touch on. Please know what you're voting for. You watch your verbiage. That's where it's all important.
Tricky.
I even got a thing in the mail, because they talked about this time change, which tonight, make sure you change your clocks if you're in the U.S. And it said, stop time change. Well, they made it look like that's what the ballot was all about. When you open it up, of course, it was the issue 1 with about the abortion. So, I sure would love to know what she's doing over there. I'm watching her play and have fun.
Mike Hughes is about to attack the girl that's helping drop off the skid steer. Yep.
But yeah, and definitely, people that are running, look into them thoroughly. See what they have, what they can offer you. This young lady that Angelina just mentioned, I've heard nothing but good about. I don't know her personally, but she seems to really push and has pride in what she's doing. So,
and I've worked with her in real estate, and I feel like if you're going to get to know somebody, real estate is a great way because there's a lot of ways that you find that people do slightly shady things. They may not be illegal. They might just be frowned upon. They might just be like curving around certain rules. And so you can really get to know people that way. And that's one of the reasons why I loved working with Novella, because she never did anything. Shawnee is the person who runs and owns Novella Realty. And she was so great because she never tried to be shady or grimy or weird or curve around things. And if I felt uncomfortable with something, she always left it to my discretion. And that's one of the things Tara loved about her too, because Tara's like me. We live in a small community. We don't want to be doing things where I want to look at you later and you'd be like, oh my God, I loved her. She was helpful. I love my
Right.
you know, you don't want to be like, oh, that lady tricked me into a flooded basement, you know, said it was an indoor pool. But working with Tara, you get to see like she legitimately cares about the people over anything else, over than a deal, over a sale, over her paycheck, over anything. It's families and people. And I think that's super important in a community to have somebody who actually cares about the people over the profits.
Right. Yes, that's definitely what we need, and that's where improvements can and will be made.
Yeah, North Kingsville's had a lot of issues lately that, you know, some people probably don't even realize, and it really needs somebody who gives a crap back in there. I think sometimes we get stuck with the same people, and you're like, well, they already know the job.
Yeah.
Just keep them in there. We'll just vote for them. They've been doing it, and it's all right.
Right.
And it turns out it's not all right. You know, they're doing some not so great things. And
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it takes years for things to come to light.
yeah, for sure. And they're in a tough spot right now. Their finances are a hot mess. Person who's supposed to be doing them wasn't doing them. There's people who have jobs that are supposed to be helping the community that are only helping themselves, and
Well, that happens so often.
it does. I think that's part of why it's important to get some fresh people in there, because when you have the same people, they get too comfortable with each other and with their jobs. So I'm like, I know DJ's not going to tell on me. DJ, I'll slip you $100 if,
Yeah.
you know, let's rip off this guy, charge him 500, we'll split it with you.
Yeah.
We've been doing it for 10 years. Nobody's going to know. So,
All right, so I'm going to run off a list of this Ward Laughs Factory where they're going to be November 11th at ABC Lanes, and I do believe that's a fundraiser for a young lady over there. Please join them. They're going to have music and comedy and all the good stuff. December 2nd, they'll be at Becker's Restaurant. January 13th, Max's Bar and Grill. February 17th, they'll be at the Boot in Geneva, and everything starts at 8 o'clock except for the one November 11th at ABC Lanes. They're going to start that at 7 o'clock. I believe they have baskets to raffle off, everything, you know, like the silent auction, Chinese auction, whatever you want to call it. So definitely, you know, if you have a chance, go have some fun. I'm not sure what tickets are this time around, but they're never very expensive. And he has some really good comedians in there. So go and have some fun and enjoy and relax.
I didn't realize ABC Lanes was still open. I thought they closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're. I think their hours kind of vary now. You know, especially since COVID. I think everybody's, you know, everybody's had to change their hours to accommodate COVID and stuff. And I think everybody got comfortable with those hours and figured it was the safer route to go.
That's the one that's across from the Asheville Library.
Yes.
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 I thought their roof caved in or something.
They did have a problem with their roof, but it is fixed. Was Lakeshore Lanes caught on fire? I think it was last year.
Oh my.
That was one on Lake Avenue, yeah. And I guess at this point, that's not even going to be rebuilt.
Gotcha.
So.
Wow.
Huh?
So wow, that's the one that was by the meat market.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And that's another place. The meat market's now Acitelli's Meat Market. They have good food, good, you know,
Girl, stop.
good people in there working.
Yeah, I bet.
Nina's gonna offer up a pig. I'm just kidding. So, what do you mean, girl, stop? You know, you got to advertise the small businesses. You got to get people over there to keep them rolling.
We don't have to advertise all the small businesses.
No, but you brought up the meat market, so I thought I'd clear that up. Because at one point, people didn't want to shop there. It's okay to shop there now.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
It's not in the family at all because
No.
good.
No.
Well, good to know. That is a
The first round, they were underhanded, and it was a family member. He was still running it and everything. She just put everything in her name, what have not. Well, this is Ashtabula. It didn't take long for that word to get out.
Right.
It was officially sold to somebody else.
Mm.
Good. Good.
So, yes, I will shop there again.
And Chris Rhodes gives great tattoos on Main Avenue. I think it's Fox and the Crow, I want to say is the name of his. No, I hope I didn't say that wrong and just advertised somebody else's.
For real.
Yeah.
Now, who's Chris? I mean,
So Chris Rhodes, he does tattoos and artwork, like drawings and paintings. I know for a little bit he was doing a little bit of photography stuff too, but I know that he put a little bit of a plea out on Facebook the other day saying like, I'm not getting very much business right now. I've been here for a long time and nobody knows I'm here. And I don't know what else to do because he does post on Facebook and Instagram and different things trying to get his shop and his name out there. And is just having a hard time getting it out there. Yeah, it is Fox and the Crow Art Company, but
okay, I'll look it up. I'll post it on the website, and I'll post it on my Facebook as well.
yeah,
Do you have?
I
any
know
of
it's
his
on Main
tattoos?
Avenue, and I know he's one of the lower priced tattoo artists, but he does that because of the community that he lives in. He feels can't, but he posts pictures and stuff of his artwork all the time, and he's one of the better tattoo artists in Ashtabula. So I know he's had to fix other people's artwork too.
Yeah.
From people from Ashtabula come to him and will say, "Oh, I had a tattoo at this place," because some become more popular than others, and once
Right.
something's popular, it's almost like you don't check the artists.
Mm.
Right.
You just get, well, I know so and so got a tattoo from here.
Right. So yeah, I'll if you want to send me his information or whatever, I'll get that up there. Please visit all your local shops. That's what we need. We need to bring them all back. The small mom and pop businesses, and that's really what made the world go around. That's how everybody
Yeah.
survived and the economy was building. And now we have all these big franchises coming in and taking over, and we need to put an end to that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're about to run out of time. I thank everybody for listening. Please, like I said, encourage your friends to join us on YouTube, subscribe, and our material is just going to get better and better as we go.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
and this is real talk. So anything you want to talk about, we'll make it happen. As long as it's clean, please, nothing filthy. But we'll get the subjects going. We'll have a good time with them. So, and I'm getting the information to post for this young man, and I'll get that taken care of shortly here. So,
All right. Thanks for having me.
thanks for joining me again. Yeah, it's a blast. I don't know if I could do this without you guys, joining in and give me that push. Last week, unfortunately, we had no internet, so I mean that's what happens when trucks hit poles, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty messy. We didn't have internet till like late Saturday, and this all happened early Friday. So for me, it was a real misery because no TV, no nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do cable at all anymore. I stream everything. So I hope you guys have a good Saturday. Enjoy yourselves, and thank you again, guys. Hopefully next week you'll be back on, and we'll come up with some really good subjects to discuss and see where it goes.
Sounds
All
good.
right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.